Pregame.com.
Welcome back to Pregame.tv. We've got Seattle at San Francisco. That's going to be Ken's free pick. I'm not allowed to talk in this game, so I'm just going to set it up and say, what a game by the Seattle Seahawks on Monday night. They stamped themselves, I think, as the team to beat in the NFC.
Yeah, definitely. And I was doing radio with Fezzik the other day, and he said, when Crabtree comes back for San Francisco, he thought they were going to win it all. San Francisco's a very good football team, but they would have to go through Seattle, and we just saw what would happen there. And I've said all season long, if the Saints are playing at home in a night game, Seattle's playing at home in a night game, they got something to prove. You've got to really have a good idea to go against them because it's tough to do. And, we haven't mentioned this, and we haven't talked about basketball, but there's one of the three of us here, and he's not fat. And that's the guy who was really killing it in college basketball. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks, man. It's early, and like Chuck tells me, you're never as bad as your last loss, and you're never as good as your last win. So I actually the only reason I really started hitting the college hardwood as hard as I did, as early as I did, because I struggled in the college football and had an 0-6 six-pack that I sold. And so then I came out and, gave 4 free plays, 3 of those won. And then I started hitting the basketball, and I nailed 10 in a row, 12 of 13 so far. So that's good. That's a sport that I know well, and I just didn't want to cost anybody any money in college football. Sometimes, like Clint Eastwood said, a man's got to know his limitations. As much as I love college football and I love handicapping it, if I'm struggling, I don't want anybody else to lose money. I'll still play money myself in games I think can win. I follow you. You've helped me out with some of the college football because you've been on a tear, and he's been on a tear NFL. So, heck, do what you do best.
We're doing well, and that's the thing. I hate to go off topic here, but if you're winning in a certain thing and you see it clearly, that's when you step up your play or you give out more plays. If you're struggling, early in the season, I couldn't pick an NFL game to save my life. Now, lately, it's turned around a little bit. But when you're not going well, you limit your exposure on those games. So instead of giving out 5 plays on a Sunday, you give out 1 play on a Sunday. And that's where people end up the year making profit.
I don't know about you guys, but when I'm on a streak, when we're winning, I can sit down and look at the schedule, and it's almost like teams jump off the page in 3D at you. Yet whenever you're struggling, you can look and look and look, and it's like you're reading. I'm back in high school trying to figure out calculus. You know.
There you go. I agree with that 1,000%. But I still liked Missouri enough last week as. So I played them pretty good, and it's good to see that I still had a read on some of the things. But again, once you come off one of those where you get knocked out and you cost people money, and again, that's the whole thing. A lot of people, and you folks out there, you don't realize, you think we just do these free videos just to do them and throw them out there. We are more concerned about the free videos that we give you than the plays that we play for ourselves. Of course, the pay plays, we want all our plays to win, but that includes the free videos. We don't want to just go on and take up airspace like Marco. And, I had to duck that. But seriously, we want to win. Every game we want to win. And when I handicap a game, and I pick those games when you guys say, pick a college, pick a pro, I expect to win those 2 games.
Absolutely.
So it hurts me when I lose them.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's. This is your free pick with Seattle and San Francisco. Kind of big game this week,
no
and not as big as it.
Big little game?
No, this is a big game, but
okay.
Not as big as it would have been. If Seattle would have lost. San Francisco had those couple losses, and in between, Seattle's got the division, wrapped up, but they're still playing to make sure they have home field advantage because, as you said. Whoever's got home field advantage between the Saints and Seattle, that's going to be big. But Seattle is San Francisco is the one team that is built to be able to go on the road and win. They've got a solid defense, and as you said, if they do get the receivers back and get Colin Kaepernick some help, because he's not performed as well as he did last year, no question about that.
Yeah, I think Carolina is also a team that's built very similar. I think could do it. Anybody can do it. It's just going to make it very hard. But, this is your play. We'll let you get
Let's make it official.
Let's do it. All right, and this is going to be a dynamite game, at least on paper, matchup-wise. Now, we know when San Francisco went up there to Seattle, they got pummeled 29-3. Last year, Kaepernick went up there, got pummeled, whatever it was, 42-17. So he does not play well up in the Northwest. And if San Francisco's to get back to the Super Bowl, he's probably going to have to go up there for that third time. We'll see if he's able to make adjustments and if the team's able to get behind him. Again, Crabtree was back, only had the one catch, but still, it's good to have him back out there. You've got Manningham back. Vernon Davis is a beast. He'll hurdle anybody. He's tough. And when they're passing it well, that takes pressure off Gore and off Kaepernick. People wondering why Kaepernick's having trouble? Well, it's because you have film on him this year. So you have film, what you want to do. Long-legged guy like that. He's a tall guy. He's not like Russell Wilson, compact, low to the ground. He's got to get outside the tackles. Otherwise, he gets congested in there in the pocket if he wants to take off and run, where Russell Wilson, a little lower to the ground, able to kind of wheel and deal. And I think he's got a better spin move than Kaepernick does. But I really like the way Kaepernick's playing now. 6 touchdown passes, just 1 interception in his last 3 games. That's a good ratio. They need to have that. He was just 9-7 in the prior games before that. Also, you look at Gore, 821 yards, 8 touchdowns. You've got Hunter on the ground. He's a good 1A, just in case Gore gets tired or gets banged up. Navarro Bowman leads this defense, and this is the strength of this team. This guy's got 90 tackles already, 3.5 sacks. You've got 12 sacks between the Smith boys, and, of course, Alden missed a couple weeks in the rehab. Then you've got Willis, Whitner, Reed, Brooks. How about Brooks? Ahmad Brooks, 8.5 sacks. Probably should add another one on Drew Brees. That's the controversial game. I know San Francisco is good enough to go back to New Orleans and win if they have to. They need to solidify the #1 wild card if they're not going to catch Seattle, and it looks like they won't catch Seattle. Yes, they may have to go back to the Northwest, but I think San Francisco is the only team that can go unless there's a healthy Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay miraculously gets into the playoffs and is hitting their stride, that can go to Seattle and come away with the win. Not Detroit, not sold on their defense, stopping anybody secondary-wise. And I just think that this San Francisco team, they are loaded. They are going to take care of business. They are going to avenge the 29-3 loss. And I think they win this game handily, not by 3 points, not by 7 points, by double digits. Seattle off and I know they only have the 1 loss, but we saw them. They were vulnerable second half against my Colts, and I think they're going into San Fran. They're going to run into a buzzsaw, a team right now that is just suffocating offenses. I think it's going to be a long day for Russell Wilson and Seattle. Give me San Fran 27-10 in this game.
All right, great stuff from Ken Thomson. He says to take San Francisco in the revenge situation. And speaking of situations, Ken, obviously off of the Monday night game, and because of such a satisfying win in the national spotlight and basically locked up home field advantage for you, it's going to be hard for Seattle, even though this is their biggest rival, to match the intensity that they had on Monday Night Football. So
no doubt about it.
Great stuff from you, Ken. That wraps it up for this week. We'll be back next week with videos. Tuesday crew will be in, Fezzik, VR, and Brady Cannon. Tuesday with the videos, and we should be back next week. We'll see if these guys let me talk or not. I talk too much. Maybe I'll take the week off next week. We'll see. All right, guys, that's it for pregame.tv. Have a great weekend. Cash a lot of tickets.